Hello everyone. So today here we are with the solutions for mathematics class 7 annual examination. So let us check out the first question, which is choose the correct option. These were all MCQs, so let us check them out. The solution of 2x minus 3 equals to 2 is, so over here what we do, 2x minus 3 equals to 2. So what does this imply? 2x is equal to 2 plus 3. Remember, when minus 3 moves over to this side, it becomes plus 3. So this implies 2x equals to 5, and this implies x equals to 5 by 2. So this will be the correct answer. If x, 12, 8 and 32 are in proportion, then x is what? So let us check this out. X is to 12, is to 8, is to 32, right? So this means product of means must be equal to the product of extremes. So what it means is 32x equals to 12 into 8. So this implies x equals to 32 into 8 by, 12 into 8 by 32, right? 8 4's 32, 4 3's 12. So this implies x is equal to 3. So this will be the correct answer, right? Now let me change the color of the pen so that we can make a difference. Now let us check out this third question. In a class of 35 students, the number of girls is 20. The ratio of number of boys to the number of girls in the classes. Now what many of you did the mistake was, you did not subtract to find the number of boys. So if we have the number of girls as 20, that means number of boys will be equal to 35 minus 20, which is equal to 15. So now we have to find the ratio, and remember it is the ratio of boys to girls, right? So it will be 15 is to 20, and that makes it 3 is to 4. Many of you wrote 35 is to 15 or 35 is to 20 or 20 is to 15. That is not the case. So you have to remember it is boys to girls. It is asked as boys to girls. So it will be 3 is to 4, not 4 is to 3. Okay. Now let us check out this next question. 18 men can do a work in 15 days, then 6 men can do it in how many days? Now I will show you it in both methods, the arrow method as well as the statement method. Now if 18 men do the work in 15 days, right? So one man will do the work in how many days? Now remember, if 18 men are finishing it in 15 days, if the number of men is reduced, the number of days will increase. That means it is inverse variation. So here we have to multiply it first. So one man will finish the work in 15 into 18 days. Now we have to find out in how many days will 6 men do the work. So 6 men will do the work in 15 into 18 divided by 6. That is 45 days. So this should have been your answer, 45 days, right? Now E. A pair of complementary angles is, most of you got this correct. You understood that 35 plus 55 is equal to 90 degrees. So complementary angles means it is a pair of angles which has the sum of 90 degrees. So this is the correct answer. If two lines are intersected by transversal, then the number of pairs of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Now many of you got confused with this, and as a result, let me change the color. So let me show the diagram over here first. Where did, so let us check this out. Now see, you were supposed to draw the diagram. Many of you drew the diagram as well. So there is a parallel line, set of parallel lines, and one transversal going through it. So we have to find out interior angles, pair of interior angles. Now the pair of interior, there are two pairs of interior angles, but the question says on the same side of transversal. That means how many angles are there? This angle and this angle. That makes it one pair of angles, right? So the answer would be, this would be the correct answer. Now do you understand where you committed the mistake? Now this one also, many of you got this wrong, 7th one. A person goes 12 km due east and 5 km due north. You simply added it up and you wrote the answer 17 meters. No, that is not the case. So what we have over here is, a person goes due east. So the person is going this much, that is 12 meters. And then the person goes due north, which is this. So how far? So this was the starting position of the person, and this is where the person is now. So we have to find the distance, and the shortest distance is a straight line, right? So we have to find this distance, okay? And now what you can see over here is a right angle triangle. So right angle triangle means this distance means that this is the hypotenuse. So it will be 12 square minus 5 square. So what are we doing over here? We are using the Pythagoras theorem, right? So we're using the Pythagoras theorem over here. So what we have over here is 12 square minus 5 square. So that is 144 minus 25. 12 square minus 5 square. So that, 12 square plus 5 square. 12 square, where is my cursor? Okay. 12 square plus 5 square. So this base square plus altitude square is equal to hypotenuse square. So this is 169, and 169 is the square of 13. So under root 169 will be 13. So the answer will be this, 13 meters, right? So that is where you committed the mistake. Now let us move to the next question over here. So multiplication of integers satisfies the property of closure, commutatively, associatively, none of these. Actually, this was an error on our part. It should have been all of these. But if you have marked any of these, closure, commutatively, associatively, except none of these, we have given you marks for that. So all of them are correct. 1 kilometer square is equal to how many square meters? Now see, here this was about simple conversion. 1 square kilometer means what? 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer. This is I, right? 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer. Now what does this mean? 1 kilometer is equal to how many meters? 1000 meters into 1000 meters. So this will be 1. How many zeros over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So 10 to the power of 6 square meters. This should have been your answer. So option C was correct over here. Now let us look at the last question, which is J. So J, let us look at J. Last question. Coefficient of, now the term is 8m minus 8mn square. And what is this? You have to find the coefficient of m. That means except m, everything else is going to be there. So the coefficient will be minus 8n square. So this will be your correct option, right? Now let us move on to question number 2. Right. So let me again change the color so that it is easy for you. Now solve the following. Find the value of x. over here, let us take up question. Where did right, question number 1. So it is 7 by 5 to the power of 3 into 7 by 5 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to 7 by 5 to the power of 8. Now you see, all the bases are the same. So if the bases are the same, we simply take up their exponents. So how will we take up their exponents? Now you see 3. Now if it is multiplied, the bases are multiplied, you know that the exponents are added. So what does this mean? 3 plus x plus 2 is equal to 8. So now x is equal to 8 minus, remember this is 5. So when 5 moves over here, it becomes plus 5 moves from left side to right side. When it changes sides, the signs change. So it becomes x equals to 3. So here the answer will be 3. Let us take up the next question. Find the ratio of 36 days to 30 days to 36 hours. Now here as well, you need to understand something. Here it is ratio. So see, 1 is so 30 days to 36 hours. Now what you need to do is you need to convert both of them into the same units. So 30 days is equal to how many hours? 30 into 24 is equal to 720 hours, right? Now you find the ratio between 720 and 36. So this is 20 times, so the ratio will be 20 is to 1, right? Now let us move on to the next question. This is the third bit. Find 20% of 250. Now remember, whenever I told you that whenever you have any number in 20%, you simply write it in fraction as by 100. 20% means 20 on 100 of what? 250, right? And you get the answer as 50. This would be 20 is to 1. This answer would be 50. See how simple it was. Now let us take up the next question. Let me use a different color now. Right. So solve 3x minus 2 equals to 2x plus 1. Now remember over here, when the number is outside the bracket, it means it needs to be multiplied with everything. So what we have next is 3x minus 6 is equal to 2x plus 2, right? Now we bring all the x's to one side. So that is 3x minus 2x. Remember, this is plus 2x over here. So when it moves to this side, it becomes minus 2x. 2 remains like this. And again, it is minus 6 over here. So this becomes plus 6. So the value of x will be equal to 8. So this answer is 8. Okay. A distance of 3.6 kilometers is covered in 20 minutes. Find the speed in meters per second. Now many of you committed an error over here. What you did was, let me take up the question over here. See, you have to find the speed in meters per second. Now distance, let us see what is it. Distance is equal to how much? It is 3.6 kilometers. Now if we convert this into meters, this becomes 3600 meters, right? 3.6 into 1000 is what? 36. You multiply it with 1000 to convert it into meters. Why? Because 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meters. This becomes 3600 meters, right? Now, time is what? 20 minutes, right? So if you have to convert it into seconds, 1 minute has how many seconds? 60 seconds. So this will be equal to 1200 seconds. Now it becomes simple. Speed is equal to 3600 by 1200, and that makes it 3 meters per second. So here the answer would be 3 meters per second, right? Was it too difficult? No, it wasn't. Maybe you simply got confused. Now let us take up the last question in this bit. Find the supplement of angle 93 degrees, 28 minutes, 43 seconds. Right. So what we are supposed to do, see, it is supplement. So supplement is what? 180 degrees. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So how will we split it? We will split it up as 179 degrees, 59 minutes and 60 seconds. And now you subtract 93 degrees, 28 minutes, 43 seconds from it. So what is it that you get over here? You get 17 minutes, 17 seconds, 31 minutes, and how many degrees? 86 degrees. This should have been your answer. The answer will be 86 degrees, 31 minutes, 17 seconds, right? Now do you understand it? Now let us move on to the next part. Let me just push these bits a little bit lower so that we can find more space. Okay, let me expand it a bit so you can see clearly. Now what sum, where is my pen? Right. What sum of money will amount to rupees 992 at 4% in 6 years? Now see, here it is given as amount is rupees 992, not principal. So you have to start in this way. You can use the X method as well, but I am showing you in the statement method. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you this question in arrow method, right? This one, 18 men over here. Let me do it over here. So it is men and days. So 18 men do it in 15 days. And 6 men will do in how many days? You remember the X arrow always points downward. Now if this number of men is reducing, it is decreasing, will the number of days increase or decrease? It will increase. That means it is an inverse variation. So what you have over here is X by 15 is equal to 18 by 6, right? Remember the arrowhead always goes in the numerator. So again we have this part. X is equal to 15 into 18 by 6, what we just did over here. So you will get the same answer. Okay, let us move a little bit where we were doing our question. Yes. So what sum of money will amount to rupees 992? So remember the amount is 992 rupees. So what does this mean? Let us take it with let P be, sorry, let P be rupees 100. Now let us find the simple interest with this. SI equals to 100 into 4% into 6 years by 100. So that makes it rupees 24. So with this SI, what does this mean? This implies that amount becomes rupees 124. How? Principal plus interest. Now this is the assumed amount, right? So we have when A is equal to rupees 124, then P is equal to rupees 100. So when A is equal to rupees 992, then P will be 100 by 124 into 992. 124 8 times is 992. That makes our principal as rupees 800. This will be the answer. Okay, now it is clear to you how you should have done it. Many of you took this as the principal. No, this is given. What sum of money will amount to rupees 992? That is what you are supposed to show over here. Now let us take up the next question. Okay. A rectangular field has a length of 15 meters. Now let us see how it says. Oh, sorry. So there is a rectangular field. Now first you were supposed to draw the diagram like this. I'm sorry, it is pretty tedha meda, but it serves the purpose, right? So there is a rectangular field. It has length of 15 meters and one of its diagonals is 17 meters. Find the perimeter. So for perimeter you have to find the breadth, right? Now again you see this is what? Pythagoras theorem. So what we have, let us say this is B. So to find B, we will need to find out 17 square minus 15 square. Hypotenuse square minus base square. So 17 square is what? 289 minus 15 square is what? 225. So this comes to 64, and you know that the square root of 64. 64 is a square of what? 64 is a square of 8. So under root 64 is equal to 8. Now you're not supposed to leave it over here. Many of you left it like this. So now that we have find this as 8, we are supposed to find the perimeter. So how do you find the perimeter? P is equal to twice L plus B, right? L is 15, B is 8. So this will be equal to 46 centimeters, right? So that should be your answer, 46 centimeters. Triangle PQ. Now many of you got this wrong because you did not pay attention to this part. It is right angled at vertex P. So let us take up question number 3 over here. See, so how are you supposed to draw this figure? You are supposed to draw it this way when you, sorry, my triangle is a bit tedha meda, please excuse me for that. It is right angled at P. So it can be Q or this can be R. Now what we have over here is find the length of QR. This you have to find out if PQ is equal to 10 centimeters. So what we have over here is 10 and what we have over here is 24. So you have to say 10 square plus 24 square, because altitude square plus base square is equal to hypotenuse square. So QR square is equal to 10 square plus 24 square. That makes it 100 plus 576 and it comes to 676, and QR will be equal to root 676. If you have left it at root 676, I have given you full marks. It is 26 centimeters. It is the square root of 676 is 26. So that should have been your answer. Now let us take up the next question. Over here, let us bring this a little bit down and let me move the other ones a bit down as well so that we can find more space over here. Okay, so now let us move to this part. A tap fills a cistern in 4 hours and empties. A tap fills the cistern in 4 hours, another tap empties the full tank in 6 hours. Now you see, many of you, right, work rate, let us say tap A, which is filling the tank. So work rate of A will be 1 by 4. Tap B, let us say it is emptying the tank, the work rate of B will be 1 by 6. Now what many of you did was you added it up, but it will not be added because this is putting in the water and this is emptying the water. So work rate of A and B will be equal to 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6. You get that? 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6, because what work A is doing, B is undoing it. So it will be 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6, right? So now what do you get over here? The LCM is 12. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1 by 12. So the combined work rate is 1 by 12, and you know the work done is the reverse of the work rate. So it will take them 12 hours to fill the tank if both of them are open at the same time, right? This was question 4. Now let us take up question number 5. The angles of a triangle are in ratio 2:3:5. Find the angles. So this means, what is how are they supposed to add up? 2x plus 3x plus 5x is equal to 180. You remember, the sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So now what we get over here is 10x is equal to 180 degrees. This implies that x is equal to 18 degrees. And now you cannot just leave it at that. You have to find the various angles. So 2 into 18 will be 36 degrees. 3 into 18 will be 54 degrees. And 5 into 18 will be 90 degrees. So that will be the those will be the 3 angles. So you have to mention it. It says find the angle. So you have to mention the, you have to find out all the 3 angles that are there. Now let us take up the last question over here. Divide 180 into 2 parts so that the greater part is 4 times the smaller. So this is linear equation. Now you see, total is equal to 80, right? So there are 2 parts. If one part is x, the another part is 4x. Now what many of you did was, you wrote x plus 4 over here. Remember, I told you times. 4 times means it is multiplied. So x plus 4x is equal to what? 80. So now what we get? 5x is equal to 80. This implies x is equal to 80 divided by 5, which implies x is equal to 16. So that means the smaller part, which is here, the smaller part is 16, right? And the larger part is 64. So, and if you add 16 and 64, it comes to 80, right? So that is how you are supposed to do it. Now let us move on to section B over here. So I'll take up this space once again, and let me change the color of my pen. Where is my pen? Okay. One of the base angles of an isosceles triangle. Now we are talking about section B. One of the base angles of an isosceles triangle is double the vertical angle. So what are you supposed to do over here? First and foremost, you draw an isosceles triangle roughly, and you see these are the 2 same sides. So this means these are the base angles, and you know that base angles are always equal, right? What it says, and now this will be the vertical angle. The one of the base angles is double the vertical angle. So what it means is, if this is x, the other one is 2x. one of the base angles is double the vertical angle. So if vertical angle is x, the base angle becomes 2x. And not to forget, the other base angle will also become 2x because they are equal. So now what you have is x plus 2x plus 2x is equal to how much? Yes, 180 degrees, because the sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So 5x is equal to 180 degrees, and this tells us x is equal to 36 degrees. 180 divided by 5, 36 degrees. So the vertical angle is 36 degrees and the base angles will be 72 degrees. It says find all its angles. So you have to write 36 degrees, 72 degrees and 72 degrees, right? So that will give you the correct answer. Okay, that is how you are supposed to do it. Now, okay, let us change the color a bit once again. Which color shall I use? Let me take up pink. Okay, so now let us take up question number 2. Let me put it over here. A number first decreases by 60% and then again decreases by 80%. Find the percentage decrease on the whole. So let us say the original number, it first decreases by 60%. So 100 minus 60 is what? 40. Then it again decreases by 80%. So it is what? 20 by 100, right? So what do you get over here is 8. Now what does this mean? This was the old number. 100 is the original number and this is the new number. So how much has it decreased by? 100 minus 8 is, it has decreased by 92%. So you have to write it 92%. So the total decrease is 92%. Now again, if we are doing it in stepwise, let us break this up. Many of you did it in some other way, so let me show it that way as well. So first the decrease is what? 60%. So 60% of 100, let us say, is 60, right? So new number becomes 100 minus 60 is equal to 40. Now again there is a decrease of 80%. So 80% of 40 is what? How much? 80% of 40 is 32, right? So how much has it decreased now? So it was 40 earlier and now it has decreased by 32. So from 40 to 32 it has now become 8. So new number, the final number is 8, what we did over here. So again the decrease is 92%. That is how you calculate it. Got that? Now let us move on to the next bit. I'll move the questions down a little bit. Alright. Now let us check this out once again. In the following figure, now let me draw the figure for you once again so that it is clearer to you. There were 3 parallel lines, right? 3 parallel lines like this, and then there was one transversal like this and another one like this, right? So this angle was given as this angle was given as 44 degrees and this angle was given as 125 degrees. Now you had to find angle 1, angle 2 and angle Q, right? Now let us look at this. Now if you look at angle 1 and 44, angle 1 is equal to 44 degrees. Why? Because it is interior alternate angle, right? It is interior alternate with 44. Now let us look at 2. 2 and 125 are co-interiors. So 2 will be 180 minus 125, that is equal to 55 degrees, because they are co-interior with 125 degrees, right? Remember, the sum of co-interior angles is what? Co-interior angles, sum of co-interior this and this. Sum of co-interior angles is 180 degrees. So that is how we find 55 degrees. Now let us look at angle Q. Angle Q is, now this angle Q plus 1 plus 2 is totally, this entire thing is what? This entire thing, you look at this over here, this entire thing is 360 degrees. So Q will be 360 minus 44 plus 55 minus 1 plus 2, that is 99. So it will be equal to 261 degrees. 261 degrees. That should have been your answer, right? Now let us take up, this was question number 3. Now let us take up question number 4 over here. Now what many of you did incorrectly in this question was that you did not pay attention to the different speeds. Now over here what many of you did was 250 plus 120 plus 50 divided by 50 plus 40 plus 25. No, it doesn't work that way. So you have to find individual speeds for individual time taken for every section that the car traveled. So what you are supposed to do is, for first section, which is 250 kilometers at 50 kilometers per hour, that is going to take 5 hours. Then 120 kilometer at 40 kilometers per hour, that took 3 hours, right? And then 50 kilometer at 25 kilometer per hour, that took 2 hours. So total distance you got correct. Total distance was 420 kilometers. 250 plus 120 plus 50, but total time was 10 hours. So the average speed would be 42 kilometers per hour. That is what you were supposed to write, right? But obviously if you are adding up 250 plus 120 plus 50 divided by 50 plus 40 plus 25, no, it is not going to get you the correct answer, right? Now let us solve this. Many of you got confused with this. I do not know, you went on to do so many complicated calculations, but let me just show how very simple it was. Let us take up a different pen with this and let me do that. All right, so let me, where is right. So let me just bring this over here a little bit, just to for me to copy the question. So the question was, where is this question? 36. Oh, this pen is not showing well. Let me change the color, a darker one. Let us take this up. So this question, what was the question over here? Okay, let me solve it on this side. So 36 into minus 6 whole square into 3 to the power, what was it? 6, I guess. Let me just expand it a bit so that I can see it clearly. Yes, 3 to the power 6 divided by 12 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 5. So that was your question, right? What were you supposed to do with this question? Change all of them into prime factors. So 36 is what? 36 is 9 into 4, right? So 9 is 3 square into 2 square into. Now see, minus 6 with a 2 power, it makes it positive, because negative sign with an even power makes it positive. Now what is 6? 3 into 2. So again 3 square into 2 square. So if you are not able to follow what I am saying, let us see. 36, you find the prime factors. So what do you get? 2, 18, 2, 9, 3, 3. So 2 square into 3 square. That is how you write 36. Now minus 6 or 6. 6 is what? 3 into 2. 2 times. So this will be 3 square into 2 square into 3 to the power 6 divided by 12 to the power 3. Now what is 12? Let us factorize 12. 12 is 2 to the power 2 into 3. So 2 to the power 2 into 3. Now remember, this is 12 to the power 3. Okay. So this means this will become like this. So now with the power outside, let us multiply the power. So what does this become? 2 to the power 6 into 3 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 5. Now everything becomes very easy. You add up all the 3 powers. So how many 3 powers over here? 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10. Into how many 2 powers over here? 2 plus 2, that is 4. Now let us see 2 to the power 6 into 3 to the power 8 over here. Now see, remember I told you the smaller power gets cancelled and you have the remaining over here. The smaller power gets cancelled and you have remaining over here. Your simple answer was 3 to the power 2 or 3 by 2 whole to the power of 2. You can also write it this way. How simple it was. You did not need any complex calculations over here, but somehow you went into unnecessary calculations. That's why I keep telling you to please learn to work with exponents. That will make your solution and your calculation so much easy. Alright, let us take up this part first. This part over here now. So question number 3. Let us draw this diagram so that I can explain it to you well. So we have this thing and we have another angle over here. Please excuse me for my Tedha Medha diagram. I'm not very perfect with this whiteboard. So this is 25 degrees. This is angle Y. This is angle Z. And this is angle X. And this is 120 degrees. Now see, what are the indications given over here? This and this. These two sides are the same. What does it mean? It makes this this triangle. Which triangle are we talking about? Where is the cursor? This is. Where did the cursor go? Okay, let me show it this way. So this triangle. Now it is back, I guess. Oh, let it be. So this triangle is an isosceles triangle, right? So it means that these two angles will be the same. So if this is 120 degree, this will be what? This will be, what happened to this? So this angle will be 60 degree. I do not know what is happening to my pen. It is somehow taking in the cursor role. Please, 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 please let me work with this. This has become the pen. My mouse has become the pen, and okay, I guess now it should be okay. So this this angle will be what? 60 degrees, right? What is my okay, sorry. So this angle will be 60 degrees. So if this angle is 60 degrees, it means this angle is also 60 degrees. So if this angle is 60 degrees, please. So if this angle, oh, see the scribble, it has happened over here, 60 degrees. This angle, thank you, my pen is back. This angle will also be 60 degrees because they are the base angles of an isosceles triangle. So that means angle X will also be 60 degrees, right? Because the three angles of a triangle add up to 120 degrees. If this is 60 degrees, now what does it make Y? Y becomes 120 degrees. Why? Because it forms a linear pair with 60 degrees. So Y becomes 120. Now let us look at Z over here. So if Y is 120, this is 25. So what does Z becomes? Z will be equal to, Z is equal to 180 minus 120 plus 25. That is 180 minus 145, and that makes it 35 degrees. So Z will be 35 degrees. X is 60 degrees, Y is 120 degrees, and Z is 35 degrees, right? So X is 60 degrees. So that was that for these questions over here. Now let me take up the last bit. All right, let me expand this a little bit so that you can see the questions easily. Okay, now let me take up question number this one. So many of you committed errors over here, and I will show you what errors you committed. By 3 minus 2 is equal to x minus 1 by 3 minus 1. Now first and foremost, we have two fractions over here with the same base. So let us change this into a simple fraction. So 2x minus 1. Now remember, 3 is the LCM. We have this as is assumed as 1, and so that will be minus 6 is equal to x minus 1. This part remains the same, and again the same thing, 3 LCM. This becomes minus 3. This is by 3 and this is by 3. Since both of them have the same denominator, the entire fraction has the same denominator, we will cancel that out. So what do we get now? What we get over here is 2x minus 7 is equal to x minus 4. Now why minus 7? See, both the signs are the same, so the operation is addition. Both the signs are same, so the operation is addition, and the sign remains the same, right? So this remains minus 7, this remains minus 4, okay? Now let us move the x's to one side. 2x minus x is equal to minus 4. Now this is minus, so when it moves to this side, it becomes plus. So 2x minus x is what? X. And over here you see two different signs. When the signs are different, the operation is what? Subtraction. So we subtract, and the sign of Bada Bhai, which is 7, so plus. So x will be equal to 3. That should have been your answer. Now let us take up the next question. A father is 3 times as old as his son. So let us take this up. So there is father and there is son. I always ask you to do it this way. So if the son is x here, father is 3 times, right? Times means multiplied. 3 times what? You do it, na? 1 times 2, 2 times 4, 3x. After 10 years. So in 10 years time, now what happens after 10 years? The father's age becomes what? This. The son's age becomes what? This. Right? Father will be 3x plus 10 years older, son will be x plus 10 years older. But what is the equation? His age will be double his son's age. So that means if you double the son's age, it becomes the father's age, right? What you have over here is 2x plus 20. Remember, this 2 needs to be multiplied with 10 as well, is equal to 3x plus 10. Now we move the x's to one side and the numbers to the other side. So we have 3x minus 2x is equal to 20 minus 10. So we're taking the 2x to this side and we're bringing the 10 to this side. I've just flipped the sides. So we have x is equal to 10. So that means the son is 10 years old and the father is 3 times, that is 30 years old. Simple. Now let us move to the next question, which is a ladder. Again, many of you got confused with this and you didn't get the figure right. So let us see. A ladder is placed in such a way that its foot is at a distance of 9 meters. Now this is 9 meters, right? And its top reaches the window 12 meter above the ground. So over here, this is the top. Let us say this is 12 meters above the ground. This is the ladder. This is how the ladder is placed, right? So if this is 9 meters, so this is the foot of the ladder and this is the top of the ladder. So it says the foot of the ladder is 9 meters away. 9 meters away from the wall. So this is the wall, right? This will be the wall, if I can show you. This will be the wall. This is the foot of the ladder. So it reaches 9 meters away and it reaches 12 meter high from the base, from the ground. So you have to find this part. Got that? So now it would have been 12 square plus 9 square is equal to the square of the height of ladder. Again we have the Pythagoras theorem. So 12 square is what? 144. 9 square is what? 81. So what do you get? 225. And under root of 225 is 15. So the length of the ladder will be 15 meters. That is how it should be, right? Now let us take up the next question. Question number 7, bit 1. Divide 6x square 7. Let me put it a little bit down so that we can have space over here. Okay, so we have 6x square plus 7xy minus 3y square, and this is to be divided by what? 2x plus 3y. Remember, we need to first cancel. Many of you wrote it in a fractional form with a numerator and a denominator, but remember this is a binomial, so you cannot use it or you cannot do the operation in the same way as you do with a monomial. With a binomial, you have to take the long division method. Right? Now we have to take away this 6x square first. So we will need to multiply it with 3x. 6x square. Now 3y, chota bhai, remember I told you don't forget the chota bhai. 3y into 3x is what? Plus 9xy. Remember, the signs of every term in the bottom, in the second line changes. So this becomes minus, this also becomes minus, this gets cancelled. And remember, now it is plus 7 minus 9. They have different signs. So the operation will be subtraction and the sign will be the sign of Bada Bhai. And this term, because it is in the first line, you bring it down just the way it is, right? Now from 2x we need minus 2xy. So you multiply it with minus y and you get minus 2xy over here, and 3y into minus y is again minus 3y square. So the same terms, they get cancelled. So this should have been your answer over here, 3x minus y. Now let us take up the next question. So the next question is this one. If A is to be, sorry, this is the lighter color, so let me take the darker green. Alright. So if A is to B is equal to 4 is to 7 and B is to C equals to 5 is to 6, find, let me shift this a little bit to this side so that we get more space. So find A is to B is to C. Now for that we need to equate B. That means we need to bring the same quantity for B. So what do we have in B over here? 7 and 5. So let us multiply this. 4 by 7. Let us change into, let us multiply both of them by 5, and over here 5 by 6. Let us multiply both of them by 7 so that we get a common quantity for B. So what do we get? 20 by 35 over here, 35 by 42. So now what we have is 20 is to 35 is to 42. That should have been your answer. Okay, now let us take up this very last question. A invests rupees 8,000, right? A invests how much? Rupees 8,000. B invests how much? Rupees 11,000. And B gets 720 more interest on that. So time is what? Time is 3 years. And we have to find the rate. Now, whatever, let us say A gets some interest. And B also gets some interest. Now the difference between their interest is rupees 720. B is getting 720 rupees more than A. Why? Because he has invested more than A. So this 720 rupees is in how much? This interest is on the extra sum that he has invested. So B has invested more. How much has he invested more? How much did he invest more? 11,000 minus rupees 8,000. That makes it rupees 3,000. So B has invested 3,000 more. That is why on 3,000 rupees he is getting 720 rupees as interest. So we now have our data. So now rate is equal to P into, sorry, rate is equal to, let me just erase this. Rate is equal to SI into 100 by P into T. Now what is SI? SI is 720 into 100. What is principal? 3,000. Now you remember, you understand how we got this 3,000? Because इसी पर तो ज़्यादा interest मिला है ना उसको. So 3,000 ज़्यादा थे इसीलिए उसको 720 ज़्यादा interest मिला. That means this 720 interest is on 3,000 rupees and the time is what? Time is 3 years. Time is 3 years. So now what you have is, ये 3 to 0 गायब कर दो. 9, 72 by 9, you have 8. Rate is 8%. बस सीधा simple. So I hope that you got the answer to your solutions now, and I hope that you will be able to understand how you have done in your exam, and whatever you got wrong, you will be able to understand and correct your errors. Thank you so much for watching.